Hi, this video is all about June 2023 Zodiac sign predictions. Now, I want to remind everybody that I practice Vedic astrology, which is a sidereal system. And what this means is that I look at where the planets are actually placed in the sky. So if you are trying to use your Western sun sign and put it here in these predictions, it won't work. You will need to know what your ascendant and your moon sign are in Vedic astrology. And if you don't know that, it's very simple. Just go to my website, www.michellebond007.com, and click on my free chart calculator. Enter in your birth information and then scroll down, and you will see your ASC, that stands for your ascendant, and your MO is your moon sign. So you will be looking at both your ascendant and your moon sign in these predictions. And while you're there, be sure to sign up for my free newsletter so you will always be informed. Again, that's www.michellebond007.com. Now let's get going. The thing about the beginning of June that I really like is that the Jupiter-Rahu alignment that was happening at the end of May is going to still be there for the first week of June. And that's when Jupiter and Rahu are going to align at around 9 to 10 degrees in Aries. And what this does is it expands things. It's going to expand the sign of Aries, Leo, Libra, and Sagittarius. And I did mention this in the video that I did for May 2023 Zodiac sign predictions. And I went into a little bit more depth and detail on that. But the end of May and the beginning of June kick off that alignment and all the expansion in those four signs. So if you want to see what that is going to mean for you, then just go back to the May 2023 Zodiac sign predictions, and I went into more detail on that. And this expansion is going to be continuing on until November, when Rahu will change signs and he will go into Pisces. And so that energy is going to shift at that time. But anyway, so we're starting off June with a bang with Jupiter and Rahu aligning. And then there's going to be a full moon in Scorpio on June the 3rd. And after that, Mercury is going to move into Taurus, and that is going to happen on June the 7th, and he is going to be aligning with the sun. And that is a very powerful connection, both for you in your chart. It brings leadership, but also for leaders around the world. When Mercury and the sun come together, usually it means that communications will be improved with the leaders around the world. So we hope to see that energy happening at that time. Then on the 15th, the sun will shift into Gemini. And then on the 17th, we're going to have a new moon in Gemini. And on that same day, Saturn is going to go retrograde in Aquarius in the nakshatra of Shatabhishak. So we've been talking a lot about Shatabhishak, especially when I did my New Year predictions for the United States for 2023. And what we're going to see in that retrograde station is more revealing of what needs to be healed in the world, because Shatabhishak represents 100 healers. So we're going to see miracle healings coming about, or ways of healing addiction issues and mental illness, which is another thing that Shatabhishak deals with. So I think what's happening right now is how bad the situation is really coming to light. It's really being revealed. So that is going to be looked at while Saturn, especially while Saturn is retrograde in Shatabhishak. It's being reviewed. Then on the 24th, we are going to have Mercury going into Gemini, and Mercury is going to be very happy in that location because he rules Gemini. And so Mercury is very happy in Gemini, and that's going to bring about better communications. So hopefully we will see that going on with learning how to heal the issues that need to be healed, coming to the surface and being really examined. And then there'll be dialogue around how to heal those issues. If you don't know about the issues, well, you can't heal them. So there you are. Mars is going to be debilitated with Venus in Cancer. Now that's been going on for a few days, and he's going to be debilitated in Cancer until June 30th. And so the real estate market is going to be affected. Yes, you're going to see a shifting in the prices. Is it a crash? I don't think so, but there's definitely going to be an adjustment in the real estate market. And I did a video about Mars being debilitated in Cancer. So if you want more details on that, you might want to jump over there to that video. But Venus, now at the end, though, of June, when Mars moves into Leo, Venus will still be in Cancer. And so that should help to bring things around in the real estate market. And the other thing that I want to mention about is that Mars is energy. He represents ambition and energy to get things done, and anger, frustration, weapons, warlike behavior, riots, all this type of thing. And when he's debilitated, some of that will hopefully get tampered down, especially the violence that we've been seeing. People are still going to be frustrated, don't get me wrong, because people will still be frustrated. But hopefully some of that violence will tamper down. And also you might feel that yourself. You might find that you aren't, you don't have as much energy to go forward and do all these things that are opening up for you, all these opportunities with the Jupiter Rahu expansion. But don't worry, just take it a day at a time, because when at the end of June, when he goes into Leo, you will have the energy back to go after those projects and tackle them and be successful. Okay, so that is the planetary energy that's happening for the month of June. So just let's now look at your individual signs and see how that will be revealed to you in your individual sign. So let's look at Aries first and see how this energy is going to unfold for you. So if your ascendant or your moon sign is in Aries, then this is going to be a great time for you. You're going to have a whole lot of ambition and drive to do things. And it's a good opportunity for you to take short distance travels. You'll get a lot out of that. There will be a shift with friends. You are going to see who is in your camp and who is not in your camp. And just, I don't know, be aware of friends who are draining your energy and people who aren't in your camp. And if they're not in your camp, then it's time to say goodbye and move on and find new friends who are. And you will find new friends who are in your camp. So there will be an adjustment there with that. And Mars is going to be in your 4th house. And so you will probably find that in the home, there's going to be a lot of arguments going on. And so that won't be very satisfying. Make sure that you do not leave any candles burning, and be careful around fire in the home, and make sure you take care of your car as well. If your ascendant or your moon sign is in Taurus, then your main concerns right now are going to be your finances. You may find that your partner is draining you financially. Maybe they've had some added expenses that you weren't expecting. So you need to make sure that you're not overspending, and you need to watch your finances at this time. Work will be a place for you to trim down, get rid of any excesses that you have in the workplace, consolidate things. And the good news is, though, that a difficult boss is probably going to leave. For some reason, they will get transferred out of your division or out of your department, or they might even leave the company. They might find another job in another company and go elsewhere. So that would be a good thing, right? It could also mean that your company could have a buyout or a takeover. Now, Mars is going to be in your 3rd house, so that is going to, again, give you some ambition and some drive to get these things done and to take care of the downsizing at work, or restructuring at work. Be aware of any arguments with your siblings, especially younger siblings. Try to avoid them. Now, Gemini. If your ascendant or your moon sign is in Gemini, you are going to have stamina and the drive and the life force and the energy to get things done. And it is also a good time to start an exercise routine. And you're going to be doing some self-reflection, and just realize that the truth is going to set you free. Your mind is going to be opening up to different ways of thinking about spirituality and religion and what your role is in this world. And you're going to end up having a more realistic outlook on life. And you'll understand your limits and your boundaries, and you will be able to set good boundaries. Mars is going to be in your second house, so just be aware of any overspending. You don't want to be doing that. And be careful of how you say things, because you could be inclined to say harsh words that can offend people. So just be aware of that and be careful. Now, Cancer. If your ascendant or your moon sign is in Cancer, then sleep could be disturbed at this time, because you're going to be thinking about ways that you can help people, and that could keep you up at night. You will finally understand your past, the reason why things happened to you that the way they did, and they will make sense to you finally. There could be limits of money from other people or from insurance companies or inheritances. You might not get all that you were expecting to get, or it just could be delayed. And you're going to be changing the way you think about your finances. Now, Mars is going to be in the first house, so you're going to have ambition and energy, but be very careful about being impulsive, because you could do something impulsively or suddenly or quickly and end up being in an accident. So be very careful about that. Leo. If your ascendant or your moon sign is in Leo, then your friends and people you know are going to be opening up doors for you. Opportunities are going to come from them. You are going to gain recognition in your community. So this is a great time for that. There can be problems with relationships, however, and it can mean that the relationships are going to come to an end. They need to be worked on. And if you can work through the problems, if you can work through the issues, then you could be developing a much stronger bond with your partner. Otherwise, it's time to move on. And Mars is going to be in your 12th house. So you need to be aware of secret enemies, people who you weren't thinking could be an enemy, could end up being an enemy, or just you need to be very aware of your surroundings. And you might even think about getting a security system. Virgo. If your ascendant or your moon sign is in Virgo, then your career is taking off. You are a shining star. It is time to take those calls. It's the time to go for that job, your dream job that you've always wanted. And a promotion is in order. And with that, usually comes more money. So that's exciting. Now be aware though, because all these great things are happening to you. There could be some jealousy and some enemies lurking in the workplace, people who are backstabbing or talk about you behind your back. So keep it hush hush about things that are going on. Keep it all to yourself, so that information won't get out and get into the wrong hands. Now Mars is in your 11th, so be careful around friends. There might be some arguments with friends, things of that nature. So just tread on thin ice, shall we say. Just tread carefully. Yes, tread carefully with the friends at this point in time. Now, Libra. If your ascendant or your moon sign is in Libra, your way of thinking is changing. It is a great time to do some self-improvement, go within, figure out what makes you tick, what makes you think, and this will all pay off. It's going to change the way you think. There can be responsibilities with children, however, and this can mean that either you have a child or the children that you have already might need some financial support, say going to college, or maybe they're getting married, something like that. So there's going to be responsibilities around children at this time. And Mars is going to be in your 10th house. And this is great for ambition. This is great for promotions and getting a raise. However, be careful, though, that you do not get into arguments with your boss because that would actually end up hurting you. So keep your mouth zipped around your boss. Bite your tongue if you have to. And if you do that, and then all of your ambition and your hard work at work is going to be recognized, and it'll pay off. Scorpio. If your ascendant or your moon sign is in Scorpio, then your health is going to be a major focus at this time. So you want to make sure that if you see anything unusual going on, that you get it checked out. There also could be issues with money that you get from others. So you want to be aware of that. It might not come through financial issues with others. You might not get as much as you were expecting. You will be concerned about your home as well. Home repairs could be needing to be done. And you just aren't going to want to put off any home repairs that are going to be happening. And also make sure that you take care of your car. And you might find that you have a desire to move. If you do, though, I would recommend that you don't buy a house right now, that you rent until after November, when Rahu and Ketu shift their positions. So Ketu is no longer affecting your 4th house. Now, Mars is going to be in your 9th house. And there could be a lot of overbearing authority figures. Your father might be overbearing. Your boss is going to be overbearing. So just be aware of that and stay clear. And don't let them influence you. Don't let them overpower you and influence you in the way you think and your gut feelings, because you know what's best for you. You really do. Nobody else does. So be sure to stand up for what you know you deserve and what is right for you. Sagittarius. If your ascendant or your moon sign is in Sagittarius, then the spouse can be very domineering at this time and want to hog the spotlight. And if this is going on, just keep the peace and let them. This energy will pass. Yeah, so that's what you want to, that's the best way I know to keep, is just to let them. Keep the peace. You're going to be very disciplined to take on new projects, or if you were thinking about getting another certification to help with your career, or even to finish some education, maybe that you've already been studying some coursework, you will have the ambition to finish that. So that's great. And it's also a good time for short distance travels. Mars is going to be in your 8th house, so you want to be very aware of health issues. If anything comes up, you want to get it looked at and take care of your health. And there's some brewing anger that's beneath the surface with you, and it's probably caused by false accusations. Somebody has falsely accused you of doing something, so just be aware of that. If your ascendant or your moon sign is in Capricorn, then you will be thinking about actually your health. You won't be wanting to get rid of old habits that aren't serving you, that aren't healthy, and you will have the energy and the capacity to do that at this time. So this is a good time to start a new health program that will get rid of your bad habits and make you more healthy. And you also might find that your boss can be more demanding at work, and you also could come across some bossy coworkers. So beware of that. You will want to take care of your teeth and watch your diet. Like I said, you need to be looking at your health, but make sure to take care of your teeth and watch your diet, because there's going to be foods that you're going to eat that won't agree with you. And money does come, but it is going to come through hard work. So just be aware of that. Mars is going to be in the 7th house, and so your partner could be very testy and overbearing and kind of irritated right now. So just be aware of that. Stay clear, Let it pass, because that energy will pass at the end of June. So it's a temporary thing, but just be aware that's something that could be going on with your partner right now. Aquarius. If your ascendant or your moon sign is in Aquarius, then your heart is opening up. Oh my goodness gracious. It's a great time for you to find romance and start dating. So do that and enjoy the arts. Enjoy going to art galleries, museums, the theater, any of those kinds of things. Go on a date to those places. It'll be very romantic. Your creativity is up, and if you have children, they will be giving you a lot of pleasure at this time. You will get a lot of pleasure from being around children. Responsibilities will be increasing, but the good thing is that you will have the discipline to be able to handle all of the responsibilities. Now, Mars is going to be in your 6th house, so you want to be careful of argumentative and testy co-workers and problems at work. And also be very careful about accidents. And if you have some pets or a pet, they might need more health care during this time. Now, Pisces, if your ascendant or your moon sign is in Pisces, then you're going to be focused on your home, your residence. You'll probably be needing to do some repairs, and you will get a lot of pleasure, though, out of entertaining in your home. And you might want to think about getting a security camera as well. You might even find that you want to move. And again, as I said in my real estate video, this is not the time really to buy a house. If you move, rent, and wait until K2 moves at the end of November and gets out of affecting your 4th house. You will come into all kinds of spiritual realizations, and you need to trust these insights that you're getting. Your life is transforming. You're closing out old projects. And it's a time to close out the old so that the new can come in, and you are moving towards a better life. So don't be afraid of that. Mars is in your 5th house. I do believe, with Mars being there in your 5th house, that a very passionate romance is on its way. If you're not in a relationship, if you are in a relationship, then it's time to spice it up because passion and romance are in the cards for you right now. So there you have it. The June 2023 Zodiac sign predictions for all 12 signs. Be sure to visit me at my website, www.michellebond007.com, to sign up for my free newsletter and to book an appointment if you want to see how the planetary energies will transform your life. So again, that's www.michellebond007.com, and be sure to subscribe to my channel and click all notifications so you won't miss any new videos. Be inspired, be empowered, and I will see you next time.